Well, hello. This is going to be an unedited garden tour. I really just wanted to get out here and hold myself accountable and show you the progress of the garden, how things are looking, and um, to you, it may look great, wonderful. I highly doubt it. But to me, this garden has not been its best year ever. I have been relatively disappointed in a lot of things just because the garden has gotten away from me. We've had a number of things switch up in our lives. I've taken on a new job. My hours have changed, so I'm getting out later and later in the garden. And we have a party coming up this week. Well, tomorrow. I don't know when you're going to be seeing this, but tomorrow we have a party, and I got myself into a huge project that I thought would be better for the party, and I thought I was slightly ahead of schedule, and now I'm kicking myself in the butt. So we'll show you that here in a minute, but for right now, we are down just past the greenhouse in the what I used to call the compost bed, because our compost bin used to be back here, no longer is. And this is where our quickfire hydrangeas are. I just found out that Proven Winners has dropped quickfire out of their line, which frankly was a huge disappointment to hear that, because quickfire is easily one of the best hydrangeas in my opinion. It's reliable, it's good looking, it's pollinator friendly. I would plant quickfire over any other paniculata very easily. So if you're looking for it, if you see it at a garden center and you're still wanting more, I would pick it up. But there's a few things that in this section I would like to change. Very quick, easy, simple things. We also have a Persian Towers Parotia tree, which came from Fast Growing Trees, and I am excited to see it's putting on some new growth despite my neglect this year, which really, what more could you do other than making sure it's getting water? But it's going to have some fabulous fall color. A few things that are going to get changed in here. Still need to dig out these dreadful fountain grass, Pennisetum. They're not, I'm never planting a Pennisetum again. Never a perennial one. The Peter Cottontail Yarrow, though it looks really good in here when it was in bloom, it has gotten far too tall for the border. So I think I'm either going to take them out or try to get them further back in the bed. I'm not quite sure, because I do have these, not only the cone flowers, which it looks like somebody literally came and sat on this area, but I also have these false spirea called, oh, what is this called? Matcha Ball from First Editions, and I really like those. They're really cool looking plants. And then I do want to remove this front Carl Forrester grass, because it just doesn't, it sticks out. Like there's 1, 2, and 3, you know, in between. I don't know how that one managed that way. The fire pit area we've gotten cleaned up. This is an area that we're going to be dismantling. The fire pit is obviously coming out. We're going to be raking out a lot of this gravel today, washing it, and bringing it up to our new project, which I'll show you. I still have some weeding and editing to do out of here, but what I wanted to show you is this Angelonia, which is a black Angelonia. The name is escaping me right now, and I don't have time to edit, so you're not going to get a name on the thing, but this is a ball horticulture introduction. So if you look up black Angelonia on Google, you'll find it. And then the gazinias were looking really nice, but it looks like something's come through and eaten these, which I'm not surprised. We have been battling a gopher who keeps getting into the garden, and I haven't seen him in a while, so I don't know how he's getting in, but he is. I haven't been able to attempt to trap him, but we'll get there eventually. We do have our crepe myrtles. These are crepe myrtles that will get large, but they are hardy in their roots. I think all crepe myrtles are hardy in the roots. They just don't get to the height, you know, of what they would be in the southern gardeners. These only get 2 to 3 foot tall and wide. and they're starting to come into bloom. These are the Bellini series from Flowerful. I have the pink ones here and then some of the purple ones here. I did some cutback on the Penstemon, I'm sorry, Midnight Masquerade, and you can see the reason I no longer let that stand is because if I don't get to it, there's seedlings everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Do need to do some dividing on the Karl Forester grass. Now, when I planted this garden is now probably about in its 4th year. It's time to do some editing in it and pick and choose what needs to go, what's not performing best, and I'll get to that this season. This blank spot here is actually not a blank spot. This is Carex woodii that I've been taking divisions out of. This is a very fast growing Carex. I will say this one is coming out. Though I love it, it's not in this bed. It's not going to stay in this bed. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Looks like we have, that's Nicotiana that I planted earlier this season. A lot of the annuals that I tucked in here, which were Cosmos, you can see one here, and Nicotiana. And then I did purchase this Salvia, which is really, really cute. Just have not performed, or were not able to come through the perennials as well. You can see that grass needs edited as well. So we've kind of lost some of that later season color that I was anticipating on having. If we pan slightly over here, and excuse me, this is morning, so I'm going to try to block the light as much as possible so you might see this often. This is the pond area, and we talked about the fact that we are going to dismantle the pond and move it up into the bigger flower bed. We're putting that on hold right now just because of time. We have the patio extension that we're working on. That's the big deal. And then we do have to get the greenhouse extension done as well. So we're trying to just not overwhelm ourselves. But this is the Bellini crepe myrtle. This one's probably my favorite. I love the color of it. It's like a magenta purple, really great. And then this is Missouri goldenrod, and goldenrod can be an aggressive plant, and this one does move quite a bit, but it's still a really good plant regardless. It's easy to pull up and manage. And then we have some oregano. This is a cultivated variety. I can't recall the name. Austin Eichscheid, a friend of mine, uses this a lot in combination with Calamintha nepeta, which is literally just starting to wake up. The pollinators are starting to wake up and utilize this, and they just go insane over it. Aside from that, everything is looking pretty decent here. Definitely needs some weeding, but we'll get to that later. Pan back over here to the bed. The naturalized bed, definitely doing some editing. Don't know that I would repeat these salvias over here. I mean, I might, but definitely not as close to the front of the border as I have them. Another plant that I'm looking to start editing out of the garden is the Cheyenne Sky Panicum. I think every year since I've had them, I've complained about them. I've loved them. I love the look of them. I like the fine texture. It's thinner than your typical panicums, but with the thinner leaves and such means weaker stems. No matter what the conditions are, they just flop continuously. I use certain things, decoratively to hold them up, and it's just not worth it. I've cut them back before. That didn't help, so I'm going to be switching them back out for the good old standard Shenandoah, which I'll show you here in a little bit of how much better that one's doing. Our trees from Isley Nursery are looking phenomenal. This is the Fastigiate Norway spruce, and I'm telling you, it put on over a foot of growth just in its first year. Been watching Erin's videos, and when she does update on hers and how much hers have grown, oh my goodness, this is going to be a statement piece in literally no time. Real quick, I'm going to pan back to this for just a second. You can see the two service berries here, one here and one here. These are transplants that I got 4 years ago. I went and dug them out of someone's yard, brought them here. and they just have not looked their best, even when I try to give them extra water and such. This one's shooting out a bunch of baby stems out of its, root area. This one is not, and as much as I love them, eventually I am gonna have to take them out because they're starting to look scraggly and just not as good. But over here we have our Hybericum. I believe this is red or pumpkin. Not quite sure. This one's from first edition, Shrubs and Trees. Really like the plant, comes back from its roots every year, so I just whack it back and boom, we have a brand new plant. And then this is our Cryptomeria japonica aurora elegans from Isley Nursery. I am shocked, and I'm gonna knock on some wood. You can see it here, my head. This has not skipped a beat. This looks great. It's actually put on a little bit of growth here for settling in. Cryptomeria, for me, are very, very hard. They do not like to dry out, so putting it in this clay soil that's pretty water retentive was clearly one of the best things I ever did for it. I'm curious to see how it develops over the next couple years, how, it settles in and its growth rate and habit. Well, habit will be pyramidal, but its growth rate. We're at 11 a minute, so we're gonna start skipping ahead. Harpstrings, Coreopsis from Proven Winners. It does seem to get powdery mildew for me every year. This is the second year for it, and I had it bad last year, and it's getting it again this year. Those are the Rudbeckia that we planted from Darwin Perennials. You can see even my Sanguisorba, which is plum drops from Brent Horvath, they flopped. I don't know what happened. I didn't know fertilizing this year, so I don't understand what went wrong, but I'm gonna get in there and stake those up by the end of the day before our party. The groundhog just loves Alternanthera and zinnias, so this little devil needs to go. We'll take a step back and look here. This is Sanguisorba buckthorn. And the Northwind panicums are fabulous. I think I'm gonna scoot them down a little bit. This little corner, I've just got a simple little thing I wanna do. I wanna bring the spireas forward and do a little trio here. Bring those iris, I'm gonna divide them up a little bit, bring them forward, and then we'll put the panicums back there more. Everything's looking pretty decent over here, I guess. Need to come back through and touch up our mulch, but I've been dealing with mealybugs galore. And this pot I came down here and was like, oh my gosh. I mean, I knew I hadn't watered in a minute, but ridiculous this year. It's one thing after another in this poor garden this year too. Our Skylands Oriental Spruce is taking a bit of a hit. That's what the umbrella's about. Any day that reaches over 85, I've been throwing the umbrella up over it to help it get in. That is the Catalpa. Now that I've gotten drip irrigation down to it, it's growing a lot faster. I'm hoping to at least get some blooms out of it this year. I did transplant it from over in the Memorial Garden over to here, and we'll see. It's going to take some time. I've come through here and edited out a couple of the grasses. I had a lot of a lot of Holy Smokes grass, which is the same grass as Blackhawks here, but it has a much more glaucous blue foliage. Actually, there's one left back here I can kind of show you back there, and it's got a kind of a purple tip, but it's such a large grass, towering about 7 to 8 foot tall in my garden, that I just did not like it. Did not like it at all. Tore them out, and I'm so much more happy about it. Blackhawks is literally the only one for me. Just do a small pan down this way. If you're wondering what the blue flowers are, those are Agapanthus Galaxy Blue. They are from Walter's Garden that I got several years, well, 3-4 years ago. They are working to bring them back into the the market, they just had a slow production rate on them. So they've really amped it up because it's one of their big sellers. And I know why, because I would love to get more. I've got a couple up front, and then these guys are going to get divided down here just a little bit this year, so I can repeat them at least twice over here. But I have to say this border looks pretty good. A few things are going to be edited out still. I haven't made it this far, but I'm kind of in a mode of I want to rip out what I hate and just move it along because I am really feeling it this year. Cardoon is blooming. This is a cardoon I started 4 years ago from seed, and it just, the mother plant dies. Unfortunately, I didn't, fertilize it this year, so no big lower growth, but I'm surprised that it did bloom. The bloom is really cool. I'd actually like to maybe bring that out into a focal point this year, well, for next year. Some little improvements that I've been doing over the last couple weeks is I scored these barn stones on Marketplace, so I am lifting this section of the garden up a little bit because it is extremely hard to compete with this maple, and even with drip irrigation, it's just been a nightmare. So I'm gonna go and get some fill dirt, I'm gonna fill it over topsoil, get some compost, amend it all with it, and then set up drip lines so that I can grow some of the best shade plants I can, so that it looks more like this side, which I'm far more happy with. I'm trying to block the sun, I'm trying to go slow, I'm trying to do everything, guys. Little update on the containers though, they started to really fill in. The little annual version of the more old-fashioned annual version of that salvia in the container has done really well. I've had to cut back the coleus a couple times to allow it to, gain momentum. But so far, I like it. Would I repeat this combo? No. This is a one and done for me. As we move down, the idea of putting the pond in here is still there, but we may use the old fire pit as the pond area. We're still in discussion, and the big pile of dirt you see there was that container that was originally there, and I'll show you where it ended up. But I've done some work to this section of the garden, and I'm really pleased with everybody's placement. Oh, the sunlight. Well, let me try to work with it here. Where are we at? There. Okay, we're gonna have to just manage, people. Nope. Okay. This is the new Proven Winners Schizocarium, which I absolutely love. It's called Brushstrokes. Look at me, I remembered one. Brushstrokes, really beautiful glaucous blue foliage, and it'll start taking on those hints of purples and reds. It's really a kaleidoscope of colors. It's easily one of my favorite Schizocariums, actually. Taking more of a lead role over a standing ovation, I definitely think they hit the mark finding this one. Our Iceberg Alley willow is starting to come back, luckily. I'm gonna get in there and trim out the dead. I think that's where we're at right now. That was a clearance plant that I transplanted. And then this is Shenandoah. Let me turn here so the sun's behind us. This is Shenandoah panicum. You can see even after multiple we've had multiple rains, I've been overhead watering, this is doing exceptional. It's got the same colors, maybe not as as intense, but it still gives me the same effect. The height is exactly what I want. So I'm switching out those Cheyenne skies for Shenandoah, and I'll actually probably need less because this one gets a little bit wider. So as I start pulling them up, I'll figure out the total of plants that I need. We're backing down the alley here. What do we call it? We had a volunteer silver sunflower, so we get silver leaves and a smaller yellow flower, and then we have our Rebecca That is Rebecca, not Maxima. Oh Lord, Lord, I can't remember it, but it is on Bluestone Perennials website. I can at least tell you that much. And then last year I took some cuttings of some salvias that I bought and overwintered them. And I have to say, this little moment is really surprising me and making me very happy. This is mixed in with the black Baccara rose. That's all that. And I love it. Absolutely love it. I think it's so pretty. This Monarda does get powdery mildew. When will we ever find a Monarda that does not get powdery mildew? This is one of the ones that scored highest in Mount Cuba trials. I thought we were good. Clearly not. I'm not going to show you the memorial garden today just because it's a freaking hot mess and we're already so deep, but Euphorbia, Miner's Merlot, we have some blank spots. That's fine. I'm not concerned about it right now. I'm just trying to get weeds handled, things handled. I would like to maybe add some more stuff in here. Spotty Dotty did not get as big as she normally does. Our friends at Monrovia had some of these Chartreuse Bleeding Heart, so I'm actually excited to get those in. The edge-right containers are looking good. And then, oh, the black mondo grass is settling in beautifully. Love it. This is where we're at right now. Our well is right here. We have had a retaining wall patio thing that was over where that flower bed is now. We had our little jacuzzi pool stand over there. We ended up putting a gate in, dismantled both of those, and have been working on leveling, cut in around the tree. We're going to be mimicking the same effect with these planters from DIY Cartel, which are much larger containers in a tiered fashion. So there's 3 here, the 26 by 26 by 26, and then 36 by 16 by 16 containers. These will be duplicated. There'll be a wide opening right here, and then they will cut in right over here and end next to the other patio. Once I get them here, I'll know exactly. And then this will be gravelled so that we have a full area to entertain with. So not much is going on over here as far as like of interest. We're gonna keep it moving because this is already a way longer video because you know I like to talk. If you don't have it already, Clethra. Get Clethra. Every day I walk by this and it smells absolutely amazing. This is Ruby Spice, an older cultivar that has been out for a little while. Blooms on new wood. Looks freaking amazing, so trim it up however you want. I've actually placed another one over here behind the Magnolia grandiflora. No, the big leaf magnolia, which is looking stunning. I deem this the Monrovia garden, and it's looking really good. There's a few things I plan to edit as we do, just to get the final look perfect, which is mostly over here. It's a troubling spot for me, but I think I've got exactly what I want to do now. And then right here, the window box we planted up. Yeah, look, it's definitely something in the soil. I have, I'm tearing it all out because I can't look at that anymore. I'm going to tear it all out. I'm going to rip out all the soil and refresh it and go from there. We've since decided we're going to go in with a weeping white spruce for this section. So we're gonna have to move these Hakanakloas and my Nona statue. That's Nona because that's our friend who passed away and we used to go thrifting all the time. We found that together and she had that in her garden. So that's the Nona statue. But our Crescent Gardens window box is looking amazing. I can't believe how good this looks. I just added in those caladiums from Proven Winners. They were nice enough to send me those out. And I added those in here, and I've added a drift of them over here into the garden. And they're 2 different varieties. Chinook, can't remember the name on this one, shocker. And then I did add a little stand of them on the other side of the door here, just as some filler. And we'll be adding in, I think, a new shrub over here to balance out the sides of the door, but we're also thinking about extending our front porch a bit. I've had the sprinklers going out here and I actually need to get it going on the one last bed, but I've since then added in, oh Lord, I need to get the hose off of them, some chrysalis buddleias so that we have some scent over here. I've got one more to add, and I moved a Lila smoke bush over here as well. Just need to do some trimming back, I'm seeing now. I haven't been up here very much. The alliums, which is millennium. The azure blue salvias are starting to come back into bloom. We have the mums that are surprisingly coming back. The lantana are just seeming to now take off. I can't say that I would actually plant these again. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't come up here and water as much. This is super blue lavender from Darwin Perennials, and then a mucho gusto abelia, which I just planted. The deer even like my zinnias this year, so some of them are blooming, some of them are not. I freaking love the sedum, that's for sure. This is usually a nice purple span of sedum, and unfortunately they just have mauled it, so my front border has looked a little weary this year. The side garden, a number of things are looking really good. I will say that though the path is really cute to walk through, you definitely don't, I don't know how to explain it. It's not, it feels challenging at the same time. Does that make sense? So we're going to rip out these Arborvitaes. I know, shocker. Oh my God, Brad, it's so, yeah, okay, listen. I've got green giants here, and these are emerald towers. It's never gonna look cohesive. Even if I trim these, it's not gonna look the same. And I don't like how wide these have gotten. It's too late to trim on these. And frankly, they're all open and starting to sprawl open. So I want a continuous hedge. We're gonna move our fence line up to the corner here of the house so that it's instant, so we can't see anybody over there, you know? We'll let the green towers come up, but I've got a whole perfect plan in mind. We're gonna start with our bones, trees and shrubs first, and then we'll talk about fluff later. Right now, it's just holding a lot of my trial plants, and I have to say, this is by far one of my favorite coreopsis in the process of trialing stuff. Very quick, very beautiful. I just love it. This is Nova Opal. There was a tag, we've talked about it before, and then that sunstone over there, which is probably my second. I'm gonna bring you up here just to show you this real quick. I'm definitely growing Cresspedia again for over here to go with that chrysalis purple buddleia, because I freaking love the combo. I was sleeping on Cresspedia, so I tried some more this year and I love it. This is a new Agapanthus from Terra Nova called Princess Plume. Absolutely love it. Very vigorous. I thought it was a this one. This is Black Adder. I thought it was a relative of this one, but apparently it's a mix or something. I'm not sure, but it's fantastic. Absolutely love it. Even when it's paired with the same color of Verbena bonariensis, the contrast of the blooms is still really cool. We have some Prince Fleming hibiscus coming on. I planted more of the chrysalis red over here. Salvia's really picked up. They're looking good. Can't believe how much this what is that thing? Baptisia has gotten, and I need to go through and cut back the hollyhocks. I haven't planted those there. I planted those like 4 years ago, and they still come back. I don't know. Look, again, Cheyenne Sky, floppage. So she's out. Do have some dahlias coming in and to bloom. The names on these are down in there. I'm not really good about, I just buy anemone types. Those are the ones I like. And I stick with that. The only one I really know that I have name-wise is Totally Tangerine. Doing a little bit of makeover over here. We added in a whole drift of Persian blue, Nepeta, Had it here before, took it out because I had I had Walker's Low. Hold on. And it was too big of a variety. So I replanted this in and I absolutely love it. Added in Poco Loco Abelia. We're gonna see how that one does. And then this whole border right here is gonna get a little bit of a change up, just some editing, more shrubs, and hopefully look better for the long run. I want this area to be very minimal maintenance. If you're doing the grow along with us on Instagram, I'm losing bad, guys. I've grown this variety so many times, well, at least once, and I had really good success. I will say my best success, part sun. Do not let it sit in scorching heat. So if we do this again ever, I know better. We did plant this variegated English holly here, which I think is gonna be absolutely stellar as it matures. They're relatively quick growing, I feel. So it'll bring some nice contrast to the weeping Alaskan spruce. And then I'm still looking for something here. I may go with a small tree. I may go with another conifer. I'm leaning towards small tree though. If you want a really good panicum, this one. This is the Proven Winners, not heavy metal. What is this one? Niagara Falls. I knew it would come to me. Niagara Falls is an absolutely amazing one. It's very blue in the foliage, but it stands up. Can't wait to see what kind of breeding they do with that one as the standard. And then the best $4 I ever spent. I was really trying to get out here before all the traffic came, but best $4 I ever spent was buying a pack of alyssum seeds. I've done nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I've gotten a heck of a display. Aside from that, we've got some bagworm issues, you know, typical. And then the front border, well, the turnaround bed right here, I had my friend come over and we ripped out so many plants, and I've still got a few more that I said, no, I want to keep those ones. This is going to just be an annual display every year. I'm going to retweak the lines on it just to get it right where I want it, so that when the Cryptomeria and the Magnolia, which are both very great southern plants, take off and start filling in, they'll have plenty of room to grow, and we can just do annuals each year, call it a day. This pearl, orange pearl, peach pearl, Agapanthus, oh my goodness, I fingers crossed it comes back next year. It's hardy here. This crappy soil, I am just hoping that it comes back. I need to get out here and water this container. I haven't fertilized either. It's been a year for me, guys. It really has. All right, well, I think that's going to be the end of the tour here. It's gone on long enough. If you stayed around for it, I appreciate it. Hopefully, I'm going to get back into more consistency of posting. I want to get some stuff done. We've got a load of stuff in the backyard of plants that need to get done, and then we need to finish up stuff. We need to finish mulching. We need to do all that type of thing. I'm trying to keep up with the weeds, but it is life. Goodness gracious, that's terrible. And I can't believe people are coming over tomorrow and they're gonna see that. Okay, well, I'm not gonna show you my face because I'm a mess, and I'm still really tired. So I will see you guys in the next video, and I will leave you with my disastrous area. How embarrassing. Bye, guys.